Ryan here from E39 Source. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to an E39 M5. The E60 Part 3 video will be coming soon. Stay tuned. We've got a bit of a embarrassing problem here on my 2000 M5. One is a noise and the other is a function problem. So we close the trunk. We get a squeak and the latch is broken. What the heck? I've never, in my 10 years with an E39, seen a broken latch before. It's not supposed to move that easily. It's supposed to have spring tension in there. Fun. So we're going to replace that latch, and then the squeak, for whatever reason, is caused as that thing passes by here and touches this plastic trim. So we're going to see if a new latch fixes the problem. Maybe this thing has just swollen and expanded. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of it. So let's talk about the parts first. We need a new latch. That is the latch here. It is more expensive than you think because it all comes as one piece. You get the latch mechanism itself with the motor attached to it. That motor itself, if you buy that independently new, is $224. Now this whole thing was only about $170 or so. I'll link it down below, but I did want to put a new part on this car. So we have the latch with the motor. Part number there is 51248236897. And I like to replace the hardware when I do these jobs. It's held in with, I think, 2. I ended up with 3 Torx screws. They're T30s, 0714698555. So those should be all the parts we need. Now to access the latch, we need to remove this plastic piece of trim, which I have done on camera, though it's been quite a while. And it's only got a total of 7 fasteners, and 4 of them are clips, or those plastic normal BMW clips that are all along this back edge. Then in the front, we have 2 of these push pin fasteners that you need a very small flathead screwdriver, and you pry the center out. In fact, you can almost use your fingernails. And the whole connector, well, the head comes out like that, and then the rest of it I'll use a screwdriver to pull that out. And then up inside the handle, maybe get a light and look up in there, there's a little cover. Use a pick tool. I'm going to use this 90-degree pick to pick the cover off, and that will reveal 1 Phillips head screw. The cover's on the left, the screw is on the right, and there's the 2 push pins right there. With those out of here, it is quite loose, although I mentioned the 4 connectors in the back. So I like to get fingers under here like this, get as close as you can to the clip, and then just pry it out. If you break these things, they're a little bit pricey, but you should replace them. It will rattle around and just feel really cheap without them. That last one came off like that, so we can stick that in, you guessed it, a dry safe location, and come back up here and see that there are indeed 3 Torx 30s holding this old latch in place. I imagine that the electrical connector will be easy to get to. It is from right here on the left side. I can't tell if it has a tab or anything on it. I'm going to pull it and see if it comes out easily. It does, and it looks like that. So now we're just ready to release these 3 Torx, slide the old assembly out, and put the new assembly in. Now the only thing I didn't mention here is this little hook. And that little hook is what actually actuates the latch here, so you can open it with the key. And the final position to get this thing unhooked without just releasing the whole hook in there is to push it down, and then you turn it so it's situated like this. And the latch, that hook on the rod there, goes through right here, that hole. So we're just going to do the same thing now for reassembly with the new part. Just when you think it's an easy job, you find out that it's not. BMW does not tap the threads in the holes where those 3 Torx 30s go. Why? I don't know. Maybe it saves some time or it saves some money somewhere. So don't try to spin them in with the gun. It takes forever and you're just going to screw the screws up. So get a T30. Like a screwdriver or a screwdriver with a bit in it. Line it up as straight as you can, press firmly, and turn. And a couple turns later, they will start to carve their own threads. I did then tighten them down with the gun. So we're in there right now. Make sure you get it plugged in before you go ahead and test everything. And then do test the actuator as well by pressing the button. You should certainly hear that go. And this was actual latch failure. You saw earlier how I was able to easily press the mechanism in the latch around. It's supposed to be spring-loaded. Mine was totally free. Also, on the old one, I was able to press the button and cleanly hear that the electronic motor is functioning. You may have a good latch, but a bad motor. I had a good motor, but a bad latch. So I have this motor available. If anybody wants to not spend $200 on a motor, that one is working and for sale. And we can actually get a little bit of a post-mortem here on the old one and see that a simple spring is what broke here. And I probably could have repaired this and gotten more life out of it, but you guys know me, I'm nuts. So the spring goes bad, I just replaced the whole assembly, whatever. So now it's plugged in, it's verified working, we can test it. we see that the noise is gone and it latches beautifully. Putting the trunk trim back in is just as easy as removal. I started with the 4 tabs in the back. Make sure they're lined up. Make sure that the tab is actually starting to go into its bore, and then just smack it with the heel of your hand or a fist or whatever. You don't need tools for that. I think these get broken all the time because people don't make sure that they're starting to go back in the hole. They're just next to it, and then they smack it and it breaks off, and that's not good for anybody. So get those 4 in. The Phillips goes here. Don't forget to put the cover back on, and then you can put these things in last. All right, guys, that's pretty much the DIY. I notice right now it sounds better. The motor sounds better when opening. Just a little bit quieter, a little bit quicker. The noise is gone. It looks better. The old one was starting to get hacked up. And hopefully we have bought ourselves another 212,000 miles of trunk latching. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments down below, and we'll talk in the next E39 source video. Take care.